Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, the CTDF Fantasy Football Show is on the air once again. Hey, we got quarterbacks to talk about. We got the NFL honors to talk about. And of course, Super Bowl 55. The teacher versus the student, the GOAT versus the kid. What's all going to happen? Stick around because we're going to be talking about that next. And folks, we have reached the pinnacle of the NFL season. The one place where every football team wants to be at the end of the year. It is Super Bowl week here. Super Bowl 55 is just, 3 days away? 3 days away from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida. And for the first time in Super Bowl history, the venue has their home team playing it, the Buccaneers, and they'll be playing against the defending Super Bowl champions, looking for their second trophy in a row. That, of course, is the Kansas City Chiefs. My name is Tim McClellan, and as you may notice, we've done a few changes around here. Um, and I have someone to thank for that, although she was here earlier. But she'll be back on the show. My new technical director, I guess you could put it that way. She did a wonderful job upgrading this thing and updating. This is so awesome. But anyway, let me introduce you to the gang. Some of them and love. I know you love this guy. This, of course, is the host of his own podcast, Hooked on Sports, where you can listen on Apple, listen on Spotify, pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts. Look for Hooked on Sports with this man here, the one and only John Flynn. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Tim. What's going on down there?
Not a whole lot. I mean, the closer we get to the big game, I'm getting more hyped about this. Are you ready?
I'm ready to go. That this is going to be a highly anticipated matchup between the OG goat and the baby goat, and it's going to be 60 minutes to determine a world champion.
OG goat and the baby goat. I never thought of it that way. Anyway, we got him, and of course, we have our faithful lead commissioner right here, Mr. John Natale.
Hello, Tim. Hello, everybody.
So that's pretty much a nice t-shirt you got going on right there.
Yeah, my AFC team.
Yeah, great to have you here. He's going to be getting our league set up again when registration comes up here in just a few months from now. Then, of course, over here we got my good buddy, our good friend from the great Alamo City of San Antonio, Texas, sporting the cap of America's team. It's Adam Oliver.
Hello.
So, Adam, you ready for the big one?
Yep, I'm ready. Even
All
if
right.
I'm not gonna be in it.
Yeah, great to have you here. And of course, we have our good buddy in the great state of Georgia. It's Mr. Andrew St. Clair. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, Tim. How about you?
Yeah, you doing all right. You ready for the big game?
Oh, you bet I am.
All right. Great to have you here. And joining us tonight, after a little bit of an absence, our former two-time league champion in all of his 49er glory. It's the one, the only Will Funky Cole Medina.
I know, Tim. Thanks for inviting me back. For those who don't know, took a leave of absence, but I'm back, and I'm officially a married man now. So there you go.
Oh, congratulations, my friend.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Right.
Thank you, thank you.
So, sorry, ladies, he's taken. And, and very much so. Very much so. Now, as far as our technical director is concerned, she was in the room a little bit, but hopefully, hopefully she'll come back around because I want to introduce her, the woman who is kind of responsible with all these changes going on here with the show and with the production of this particular show. We'll bring her on in just a little while. Of course, we got the big game to talk about, but there's a couple of topics that I wanted to discuss with you guys before we actually talk about the game itself. First of all, there's a lot of quarterbacks who are looking for new contracts. Haven't got one yet. Hopefully, let me see. I got this right here. I found this a few days ago on Adam Schefter's Facebook page. The great ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter, one of the best in the business, in my opinion.
Mhm.
He posted something here that says some quarterbacks whose futures are in question. Now we already know about two quarterbacks that are on this list, but let me just go through them right here. Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Sam Darnold, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, Cam Newton, Teddy Bridgewater, Mitchell Trubisky, Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Alex Smith, and Ben Roethlisberger. Now, as many of you already know, two of those quarterbacks have already got deals done. In fact, they were traded. Matthew Stafford was traded from the Lions to the Rams in exchange for Jared Goff, who, of course, will now be the starting quarterback in Detroit. So, with that first trade, Flynn, I want to ask you this question. Who do you think got the upper hand in this one, the Lions or the Rams?
I think this is a win for both teams. When you're looking at the Rams, you're looking at the type of performance that Jared Goff put together over the course of a regular season. Now, the numbers aren't as numbers 3,900 yards passing, 20 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. They aren't as gaudy as they used to be because the expectation of the quarterback has and the statistical numbers he puts on a regular basis have increased. But there were a lot of issues with Jared Goff and in McVay's offense. But getting Matthew Stafford, a quarterback that can expand the field, throw the ball deep, and utilize Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods to their fullest potential, I think this is a significant upgrade when you're talking about the Rams standpoint. But the one thing Tim didn't mention is that what went back to Detroit, that yes, Jared Goff, but also a third-round pick this year, as well as two first-round picks in 2022 and 2023. So that means the Rams won't be picking in the first round until 2020 at the earliest, unless they decide to trade up. So what does this mean for each team? For the Rams, that they're going to be one of the favorites in the NFC to represent the conference to the Super Bowl next year. And by the way, the Super Bowl is going to take place at SoFi Stadium, where the Rams and Chargers share home. So could it be back-to-back years where the NFC representative plays the Super Bowl on its home turf? We'll have to see. But when you look at the Lions standpoint, the Lions really needed to trade Matthew Stafford, and this was something that Bob Quinn should have done at this time last year. So because it was obvious that the Lions needed to rebuild and start over. Matthew Stafford is on the Mount Rushmore of Detroit Lions greats of all time, and he is one of the greats to ever put on the uniform. The only problem is the dysfunction around him in the organization and the And he was the one that actually gave the Lions a legit cause of hope that when Stafford wasn't available in times because of injuries, the Lions had no chance of winning football games. But when he was out there, he gave the Lions some hope. So this trade allows the Lions to jumpstart on the rebuild. That they can get real players on their defense, and then but if I were the Lions, I would have Jared Goff as a placeholder until you have enough pieces in place to draft a franchise quarterback that already has requisite pieces around them. So what are the Lions going to do in this offseason? Well, Marvin Jones and Kenny Galladay are free agents. So who knows what the Lions are going to do? Are they going to use the 7th overall pick to trade up in the draft to draft a franchise quarterback? The Lions are going to have a lot of options, and I think Brad Holmes, who by the way was who played a pivotal role in the Rams' decision to draft Jared Goff with the top overall pick in the 2016 draft. He's going to play on that, and I think the Lions have a huge upgrade in terms of the general manager position. I mean, Bob Quinn had no idea what the hell he was doing as a general manager, and I knew that he and Patricia were going to be fired, but there is real hope in Detroit now. You can actually say there's real reasons for hope in Detroit as they look for their first championship since 1957.
Wow. Yeah, it looks. I'm kind of thinking of it that way too. They'll change the pace here. I mean, Jared Goff can at least give the Lions a chance to rebuild very quickly. Natalie, you have anything to say about this situation?
Yeah, I mean, Flynn pretty much covered all the points, and there was really no winner or no loser in this trade. I mean, both quarterbacks are pretty experienced. I think they're both roughly the same age, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe a year or two differential.
Stafford was drafted 7 years ahead of Goff. So Matthew Stafford was number 1 overall in 2009. Goff was number 1 overall in 2016.
Yeah, I was talking about their ages. I'm not sure how far apart in age they are. I think it's like 1 or 2 years.
They're probably about 7 years apart because they were 7 years apart in college.
Okay. Yes, I could have sworn they said Jared Goff was 36 and Stafford was like 34, but I guess I heard wrong. But looks like that. It might take some time for both of them to learn their to work with their new players, but both of them are definitely on the right track. Yeah, the Rams are still fine, and the Lions are pretty close. They might be legitimate playoff contenders in a couple of years.
Interesting. Anyone else want to pop in a comment?
I guess I will, since I haven't talked on here for a while.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
I think Stafford won the end of this deal because, let's be honest, he had one of the top 5 quarterback contracts in the league. Let's be honest here. He was getting money, but what did the Lions really do for Stafford? I mean, he's a good passer, but they have no offensive line. Him getting a new seed, I could see the Rams contending for the playoffs for the next 3 years. And as far as Goff goes, well, I just hope that their new coach, Dan Campbell, actually does something. But at the end, I think Stafford getting out of Detroit was best for him because last few seasons hasn't been really nice to him. So I'll answer with Stafford. Leaving Detroit was the best thing for him.
Okay, yeah, I guess pretty much. Andrew, Adam.
I don't think I don't think I have a comment.
No comments.
Okay, so I guess these guys pretty much said everything that needed to be said. All right. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and where is it here? Okay. I know I just had it. Any of these other notable quarterbacks that you heard here, where could they go? I mean, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he was a little bit disappointed after the Packers drafted a quarterback this past year. And I mean, I'm not sure if he wants to stay, if he wants to retire. I mean, Okay, and of course, for now, the third off season in a row, we're going to continue the continuing drama of Dak and when is he going to get paid, or if he's going to get paid. Of course, got Jimmy Garoppolo, Cam Newton. Is he finished in New England? Is Fitz Magic going anywhere? Where do you see all these other quarterbacks going?
Yeah, I think the most pressing quarterback of them all is Deshaun Watson because Deshaun Watson is coming off a season where the Texans were 4-12, and yet Watson still led the league in passing. So I think there are two realistic landing places for him because Nick Casario is a huge upgrade as general manager over Bill O'Brien. So, and yes, he's made comments on saying that Watson is his quarterback, but he's not going to let him off easy without the Jets and Dolphins sending a huge package back because the Jets have 2 first-round picks this season in this year's draft. The Jamal Adams trade. The Dolphins have a couple of first-round picks thanks to the Laramie Tunsil, Kenny Stills trade. So I think those are the players that make a lot of sense, but if Deshaun Watson is going to be traded, that means the team set quarterback is most likely going to be headed to Houston. So for the Jets case, Sam Darnold would go to Houston in a potential Deshaun Watson trade, and for the Miami Dolphins, Tua could be going to Houston in a potential Deshaun Watson trade. So Nick Casario is not going to let him off the hook.
Natalie, anything about these other quarterbacks? Should you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I see no reason why Aaron Rodgers won't get re-signed. I mean, Roethlisberger should get re-signed. Dak Prescott, I think he's going to stay with Dallas despite his injuries. I mean, he's the heart and soul of their team. But as far as the rest, I think the Dolphins have faith in Tua. He might be the quarterback of the future. There's Fitzpatrick's not getting any younger, so he's very close to retiring. I mean, for Watson, this might be a bit of a stretch, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to New England since Cam Newton did so bad. There's a chance he could get cut. It's a bit of a stretch, though.
I don't see Cam Newton being successful ever again in the NFL.
Me neither.
Yeah, as far as Cam Newton off the field, I mean, whoever his tailor is needs to be tarred and feathered. I mean, when I see Cam Newton doing those press conferences and that clothes that he's wearing, I mean, he looks like a how do I put this nicely? How do I put this? A diva. I guess that's one way to put it, a diva. Well, anyway, so this could probably be the one off season where there's been more quarterback activity than pretty much any other season in history. But anyway, the next topic that I want to bring up is the event that is happening the night before the Super Bowl. This Saturday night is, of course, the annual NFL Honors. They'll be giving awards in different categories. We won't be going through all the categories, but probably the major ones right here. Let's talk about our pick for. I'm pretty sure, pretty much almost all of us are going to be pretty much unanimous on this one. The AP Comeback Player of the Year Award. Flynn, who you got?
I'm going to go with Alex Smith on this one because Alex Smith had the story of him nearly having his leg amputated and coming back and leading Washington to a divisional crown. I think that alone, the story of him, is just that. I'm gonna be for it if someone other than Alex Smith does win this award because he that was just a special type of return for him.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Likes of which I don't think I've seen before. Natalie, you agree that Smith might get comeback player of the year?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But who were the nominees, though? That I'm not sure about. Who else was nominated?
Actually, I don't know.
I don't think they do nominations for awards.
Right.
Okay.
Especially
Yeah,
not
I mean,
especially not for this event.
I'd say. But yeah, I do agree with Flynn's point. Because yeah, Alex Smith, he was in the hospital a lot. He had to battle back, and he was able to lead his team to victory quite a bit of times. He exceeded a lot of expectations. A lot of people, I guess, some people had their doubts he was gonna have a good performance, but yeah, he proved a lot of people wrong. I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, I'll say that. Adam, Andrew, Will,
Yeah.
do y'all agree? Do y'all want to make this unanimous?
All right. About what?
AP comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I also have to agree with that as well.
All right, so it's all unanimous. Comeback player of the year, Alex Smith, well deserved. I mean, that guy had life-threatening injuries, but to come back the way he did, I don't think Oliver Stone or Ron Howard or any movie director could direct a movie almost like that. I mean, Hollywood could have not scripted something like that. I mean, that's just okay. Okay, let's go. We're going to talk about rookies right now. We're going to talk about the AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. The AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. Flynn, who do you see taking this one?
I think it really comes down to two between Justin Herbert and Justin Jefferson, but I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson on this. If for a couple of reasons. One, you look at the production and you look at how efficient he was at the wide receiver position for the Minnesota Vikings. That Jefferson's numbers this season were just off the charts. Now, it's and Justin Jefferson, but let's pull up some numbers for Justin Jefferson. He was fourth in the NFL. He had 7 touchdowns, 88 receptions, and 15.9 yards per reception, which are all top 10 in the NFL. But Justin Jefferson, the Vikings got him with the 22nd overall pick. I thought that was one of the biggest steals in the first round. So I think it's between those two, but I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson.
Interesting, Justin Jefferson. So, Natalia, who do you think gets this one?
Yeah, this one is a tough one. There's a couple of a lot of good names on here, and another name that could possibly be in the mix is Jonathan Taylor, but I think I'm going to take Justin Herbert on this one.
Okay, looks like Natalia is having some technical issues. Let's go to Medina. Who do you think could win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Oh man. Well, John took one of them off. It being Double J, but I have to agree with the tie about Justin Herbert. I mean, if you haven't watched his Week 7 game when he beat up the hell on Denver with those 4 touchdowns in Denver, oh my God, you cannot say that this guy's going to be the future of the Chargers. Not to discredit Jefferson, his numbers were phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but I think the way that Herbert's played after the Tyrod Taylor fiasco, I mean, why not? I mean, his numbers are saying so. I'm going to say Justin Herbert. His performance, it just can't be ignored here.
All right, we got Natalia back. And Natalia, you were saying?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys got me, but I was saying there's a lot of legitimate contenders like Herbert and Jefferson. I think Jonathan Taylor is a legitimate contender too, but since quarterbacks get more recognition, I'm gonna give it to Justin Herbert. He led a very subpar Chargers team to win more games than a lot of people expected. Aside from Keenan Allen, the Chargers have subpar receivers, and somehow Herbert made it work with the players he had. So I'm going to give it to him.
Okay. Andrew, Adam.
I'll go first here.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a player lately, but from what I've heard, Justin Herbert, I think it's good doing. He's done so much here for the Chargers this past season here. Even though they didn't make it to the playoffs here, Herbert just did so much here. So I would go with Herbert.
Adam, you say the same?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go with Herbert also.
Yeah, I been looking at the numbers and all the stats, and I think that the edge for this award would go to Justin Herbert. However, yes, this is me being biased. This is me being a homer. But I will be shocked if CD Lamb doesn't finish in the top 5.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, CD Lamb was a pretty good steal in the draft.
He was a steal. I mean, and like I said, on the night that the Cowboys drafted CD Lamb, I wasn't that excited about the Cowboys drafting CD Lamb. I was more excited about those filthy Delvia Chickens fans getting pissed off because the Cowboys drafted CD Lamb. Yeah. Anything that the Cowboys can do to piss off those chicken feeders it just makes me smile. But anyway, Flynn, let's go to defensive rookie of the year. Who you see?
Chase Young, pretty simple to say. He was the first defensive player taken in the draft, and he played like the number 2 overall draft pick. Imagine what Chase Young is going to be terrorizing NFC East quarterbacks for the next decade, and we got a glimpse of why that he can wreck a game, he can wreck an offensive line, and he can change. He's a game changer, and some of his numbers speak for themselves. So I think it's an easy bet for Chase Young.
Tally.
And this one is a kind of a tough one. I'm not sure if he's a rookie or not. This one's a bit of a stretch, but I'm thinking maybe Anton Winfield from the Bucks.
Anton Winfield, huh? I'm not sure if he's a rookie or a second-year player.
Or Jeremy Chin. He might have a chance too.
Jeremy Chin, the linebacker for the Carolina Panthers, but it looks like a lot of the consensus is toward Chase Young.
I'm gonna go with Jeremy Chin.
Okay, anybody going Chase Young, Jeremy Chin, someone else?
I think I'm probably.
What was the
No
pick?
comment.
Now we're talking about defensive player of the year.
Defensive rookie of the year.
Defensive rookie of the year.
Defensive looker. Sorry, I stepped out. Oh, wow. One name comes to mind. Chase Young. I mean, that young kid could put up numbers, especially that second game against the Eagles. He was chasing Carson Wentz out of a farm. So it's going to be Chase Young.
Okay, Adam, Andrew, y'all see.
Well, I'm probably gonna go Chase Young.
Yeah, I saw a lot of tape from this kid Young over the season, and yeah, he's gonna be a young stud here. I mean, he could probably be all pro within the next year, 2 years, maybe. I don't know. We'll just look at his progress. Okay, so Now let's go to talk about the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. This is basically overall Defensive Player of the Year. Could Chase Young win that one, or could it be someone else, Flynn?
Yeah, I think this is another easy one to me. That I'm gonna go with Aaron Donald again of the LA Rams. That he's already won twice, but I think he's gonna do it again this time. And he showed once again why he is the single best defensive player in the NFL. That he can go after the quarterback at will, and he just generated nonstop pressure all year long for the Rams, and he was a big reason why Brandon Staley's defense was so successful this year.
Anybody with green with
Wait, did you say NFL or NFC?
NFL.
I think I'm going to go with Darius Leonard.
Darius Leonard? Who does he play for?
He's still the Colts.
Plays for the Colts.
He's still great at pass rushing. He still gets a lot of sacks. He's pretty much the leader of their defense. He was probably one of the key reasons why the Colts got as far as they did.
Yeah.
All right. So got him. Will anybody have any different opinion on who could be Defensive Player of the Year?
I heard Aaron Donald. I heard Darius Leonard. I mean, it's really a crapshoot between those two, but the edge has to go to Aaron Donald here because I think last year was his better year, and he upped his numbers in sacks and forced tackles, so why not give it to Aaron Donald? Why not?
Okay. Anybody else agree? I'd give it to him.
Mm,
Oh, wait a minute. Andrew, you were shaking your head there.
No. I'm thinking maybe TJ Watt.
That's an interesting name.
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt.
Yeah. We know he has a brother, JJ Watt, in the NFL here, and he's done pretty good here this season. So maybe TJ Watt, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I just had a thought for a comeback player of the year. He may not win it, but this guy was out of the league for 4 years or 5 years, signs with the Cowboys, and he had a hell of a year. I can't remember his name.
Alden Smith.
Alden Smith, yes. Alden Smith.
Yeah. If Washington didn't make the playoffs, he would have been considered. But
Right. But it's going to be Alex Smith instead of Alden Smith. So I guess pretty much the majority is Aaron Donald for Defensive Player of the Year. What about on offense?
Yeah, to me, this comes down to a couple of options, but I'm going to go with Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills for Offensive Player of the Year, and I think Josh Allen. I think yes, he got some more help with the Stephon Diggs trade, and that was a big help from executive Brandon Beane. But Josh, I think first quarterback in NFL history to have over 4,500 pass yards, 35 or more passing touchdowns, and 5 or more rushing touchdowns in the same season, and he was able to take down opponents in a lot of different ways, and he had so many big games down the stretch, and Will can certainly attest to that from a fantasy perspective. But when you look at what he did, the Bills won 13 games, and he was a big part of a movement that changed the culture in Buffalo, and we're gonna get to more of that in the Coach of the Year in just a little bit. But So, but I really like Derrick Henry as well. Cause his first 2,000 plus yard rushing season since Adrian Peterson in 2012. But I'm gonna go with Josh Allen on this one.
Josh Allen, interested. Natalia, agree?
I'm going to take a Bills player, but not Josh Allen. I'm going to go with Stephon Diggs. He had pretty much one of the best seasons of his career. I believe he was the leading receiver in yardage. I think touchdowns too. He might have led the league in.
Trying on glasses at home.
Yeah. It was pretty much one of the best seasons of his career. For that, I'm going to pick him.
Interesting. Stephon Diggs, that's another good name. Medina, who you got?
Well, Flynn knows me well. I gotta take J.A. himself, Josh Allen. For those who don't know, his grandmother passed away during the Niners Bills game on the Monday night, where I was struggling between my favorite team, my fantasy quarterback. I mean, this guy battled through a lot of adversity. John pretty much said about his achievements and got Jim Kelly's endorsement. Who many quarterbacks do not get other legendary endorsements, especially a guy named Jim Kelly that made Buffalo team what it was then. It's Josh Allen's team now. So I'm going to go with Josh Allen himself. Numbers are right there to speak, fellas.
Wow, to get a stamp, a seal of approval from Jim friggin' Kelly.
Yep.
The guy who took the Bills to 4 straight Super Bowls. I mean, yeah, it's one thing to lose 4 straight Super Bowls, but to make it to 4 straight Super Bowls, it still boggles my mind. Adam, you got Offensive Player of the Year in mind?
I don't really have a specific one, but I think Josh Allen might be a good candidate.
Well, that seems to be the consensus around here, Andrew.
Same.
Josh Allen? Well, actually, I've got 2 names in mind. One of them is Josh Allen, but the other one is the guy that I shocked you guys with last year on draft day with my very first pick. I think it's either going to be Josh Allen or Derrick Henry. I'm saying one of those 2 guys, but it won't break my heart if Josh Allen wins this one. I mean, that guy really deserves it. Okay, now let's talk about a big one, and I've got the first name right in my head, but I want to hear from you guys first. AP Coach of the Year award. So Flynn, while you're making your nice little drink, who you got for the Coach of the Year?
Hang on a couple of seconds here. Let me just. I have to go downstairs in my house for something. So.
Okay. Well, that's all right. Hey, let's go ahead and ask a tally. Coach of the Year, who you got?
This is a hard one. I'm not too good with the coaches' names, but let's see. This is probably a bit of a stretch, but maybe whoever the name of the Colts coach. I'm not good with names.
Frank Reich.
Frank Reich.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with him for some reason because I mean, it took a while for the Colts to make the playoffs. So, I mean, they find. Oh no, never mind. No, I'm gonna change my pick. The coach of the Browns.
Stefanski.
Him. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him. Because the Browns finally got the monkey off their back. They finally got to a playoff game. They finally won a playoff game. His play calling kind of helped them finally get the monkey off their back. So I'm going to go with that guy.
Going with the coach of the Browns. I mean, yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, after the Browns have just been the stain on the mattress of the league for so long, they're starting to get some credibility. And like I said, the Browns, I can see them being contenders again next year.
Mm-hmm.
Medina, Who you got for Coach of the Year?
Oh God. Well, there's a lot of coaches in the NFC I would like to pick, but this coach took this team to all heights. I'm going to take Sean McDermott for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, before McDermott came to Buffalo, Buffalo wasn't really nothing. I mean, they had low ranks within the last 4 years of every category. But look what Sean McDermott has done with this team. They drafted Josh Allen. What a product. They went after, oh man, they got Diggs in the offseason. They got former Cowboy Cole Beasley. Sorry, Adam. John Brown, former Cardinal, former Raven. But if anything, this win for Buffalo means Sean McDermott is going to stay for a while. How he took this Buffalo Bills team and just basically say, we're going to be here for the next 4 or 5 years. So my AP coach is Sean McDermott of Buffalo.
Okay, Adam. You agree with any one of those picks, or
I am in agreement to John Talley's pick because the Browns have been basically irrelevant for quite so long. But look what that guy pick did, and he just got him probably like further than anyone than back in since '94.
yeah, I would say that. Andrew, would you be in agreement with that?
I am actually in a disagreement here.
Ooh.
I
Hmm.
think probably the best. I think the coach here might be the current, the coach who took his team to the Super Bowl last year and again this year. I think it's Andy Reid of Kansas City.
Oh, and Andy Reid.
Andy
Yeah,
Reid,
yeah,
interesting.
that's a good pick.
Another year, 12 and 1 this year. I can consider how short it is. Short it is because of what's going on. I think if he wins his team wins the Super Bowl here this Sunday here. I think Kansas City will probably be able to. And no offense here, finally be able to wash away the bitter taste of Mari Steinheim moving all the time to Denver.
Ah, yeah. Andy Reid does seem like a very interesting choice for Coach of the Year. Of course, the coach of the Browns. He is a definite contender. But the first thing that came to my mind for Coach of the Year is a man who has gone through so much, not only on the field, but he has gone through a whole lot off the field. And he managed to bring these guys back to contention because of that hard-nosed defense that he had, one of the best in the league. I think my pick for Coach of the Year, Ron Rivera.
Interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Ron
the
Rivera,
current
the coach of the Washington No Names,
yeah, or the Washington Generics.
right? I mean, with everything that he has gone through over the last year or so, and to bring Washington back to prominence, to win their division, head back to the playoffs, don't be surprised if Washington is a contender next year in the NFC East. Okay, now the last award I want to talk about here because we still got the big game to talk about.
Oh wait. I have to do my coach of the year because
Yes, because you had to relocate yourself. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm with Natalia on this one. I'm going to go with Kevin Stefanski of the Cleveland Browns, and I will acknowledge that this was a move that I thought what I thought the Browns were clueless and I thought it was going to be the same old Browns, but you gave Stefanski a lot of credit that in 1 year he changed the entire culture. He went from Freddie Kitchens all the way to him. He maximized the potential of Baker Mayfield, and most of the season he was without Odell Beckham Jr. And we saw in the regular season that some of the wins weren't pretty, but at the end of the day, you got to win football games, and the Browns reversed a lot of years of failure this season. So a lot to look forward to for the Browns going forward.
Very nice, very nice. So I will not be surprised if Stefanski wins Coach of the Year with a huge turnaround in Cleveland there. Now let's talk about the final one that I want to talk about, and that of course is the National Football League most valuable player.
MVP.
MVP. Flynn.
Yeah, I'd say with a lot of respect to Josh Allen and Derrick Henry, how can it not be Aaron Rodgers this year? That Aaron Rodgers, his connection with Devontae Adams was just majestic this season. And yes, he took so much heat during the offseason that the Brian Gutekunst trades up for his backup. And then the second round he drafts a third string running back, and Brian Gutekunst has blood on his hands for how he handled the draft and his role in not giving Aaron Rodgers the requisite weapons alongside Devontae Adams to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Championship Sunday. So. But still, Aaron Rodgers was just a next level all season. He played the season with the purpose, and he's one of the best shows in the entire league. So I got to go with Aaron Rodgers.
Sounds like an obvious choice, Natalie.
Yeah, although I have been hearing Aaron Rodgers being the favorite, I'm actually going to go with Patrick Mahomes on this one. He's actually had one hell of a season. In the game, in all the games that he was physically there for this season, he only lost one game, and that was the first one. And then he went on a 14-0 run after that, before setting out for the meaningless game. Obviously, basically when he's playing, it's almost a slam dunk victory. Yeah, he's got a good core of receivers to back him up, especially Tyreek Hill. Yeah, with him in the lineup, you have a good chance of having an undefeated season with him, and he was that close to having one.
Yeah, I'd agree with Mahomes. He's a good choice too. Will, your choice for league MVP is?
Man, this is tough. I mean, you hear Russell Wilson's name in the hat. I hear you guys talk about Aaron Rodgers, but I'm surprised this name is not on the list. And I hope he gets in it, though, despite everything he's gone through. But I'm gonna go with the GOAT Tom Brady here. He had to transition to the NFC. He's never played in the NFC. He's playing under a different coach, Bruce Arians. Got along with all his new players, Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Cameron Brate. I mean, what isn't there much to say here? And of course, he brings Gronk along, his security blanket. I mean, he might be in consideration here, transitioning to a newcomer. So I'm going to go with the GOAT, TB12-0.
All right, so we got Rodgers, we got Mahomes, we got Brady. Adam, who do you say?
I am in agreement with any of them, and I've gotta agree with Natalie. I gotta go with the cheat code or Mr. Free Real Estate Patrick Mahomes.
All right, so we got two picks for Mahomes. Andrew, who do you say?
This is a top choice. Very, very, very good, very good. I'm going to have to agree with Will. I think Tom Brady. And I agree with him. AFC and NFC. He's doing great here. Obviously, it's going to be close here. But I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Brady. I think it's going to be Brady.
Well, if I had to make a choice on this, I'd give Brady just a slight edge over Rodgers. I mean, Tom Brady's come over to the NFC, like y'all said, and he has made improvements with Tampa Bay. He's getting to know his players there, and it seems like there's a connection going here. Will Brady be back next year? I mean, he ain't getting older. I mean, man, he ain't getting younger. He ain't getting any younger, but it seems like he's playing as if he is getting younger. But I'll give Brady a slight edge, and then I give like 2A to Aaron Rodgers and 2B to Patrick Mahomes, if you want to put it that way. But that's basically how I see it. So y'all be sure to watch. It's the NFL Honors, CBS, Sunday night. I think it's 8 Eastern, 7.
Yeah, Saturday night at 9.
Oh, Saturday night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central on CBS. So y'all be sure to watch that. And we're done with the now we're done with the build up. It's now time to talk about the big game, Super Bowl 55, Raymond James Stadium, where the Buccaneers are at home playing in the Super Bowl, first time in NFL history, going up against the two-time defending champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. That game will also be on CBS. Kickoff is about 5:30ish, give or take, Central Time, so that'd be 6:30ish in the East Coast. And the line right now is Chiefs by 3. Of course, during our pre-show meeting, we had my new technical director Irene telling us that a lot of different sites have said that the Chiefs are picked by 3 in this one, but ESPN, what I've been going with, Chiefs picked by 3. So, what I'd like to have is your pick, your final score, and Super Bowl MVP. Flynn, go.
Yeah, so I was actually going back and forth between both of these teams. I picked against both of these teams on Championship Sunday, so I was over. So Natalia and I were both 0 for 2 with our picks in the conference championship games. Us with the Bucks and the Chiefs, but there's a whole lot of layers with this game, but. I think that I look at the example of last year's of how Patrick Mahomes handled San Francisco's defense, and I think Tampa presents similar problems for Kansas City. Now, I think the first part of the game is going to be a little slow because I think both teams are going to try to get into this, but. I've a couple of big concerns that I have with Kansas City because both of their tackles, Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz, are not available because of injuries. Eric Fisher tore his Achilles in the AFC Championship game against the Buffalo Bills, and so Mike Remmers will be starting for him at left tackle, and Mitchell Schwartz it was the right tackle, and Adam Wiley is starting for him, but. What I've learned the last couple of 2 or 3 seasons of observing Mahomes is that yes, he has he can work with or without an offensive line, but the way Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy kind of constructed this offense is perfectly suited for Mahomes' strengths, but. I think the one thing that Mahomes has that Brady doesn't in these particular portions of their career, of course, Tom Brady is in his early 40s, Mahomes is in his mid 20s. I think Mahomes is going to make the plays that Brady can't, and I think both these teams are similar, but. I think if you have some doubts with the Super Bowl, or in any playoff game, you take the team with the better coach and the better quarterback. I think the defenses are a little similar. I think Tampa's defense is slightly better, but I think I trust Andy Reid more than than Bruce Arians, and I trust Patrick Mahomes more than Tom Brady. The baby goat beats the OG goat. Kansas City 38, Tampa Bay 31, and for the second straight year, Patrick Mahomes is your Super Bowl MVP.
Interesting pick from Mr. Flynn, Mr. Natali.
Yeah, this one was really tough. I was kind of going back and forth on this one, and I was kind of reading the injury reports too to see what was going on with that. I mean, as far as the Kansas City side goes, I believe his name is Demarcus Robinson. He's out with COVID, so he's not going to be able to play. If that's his name, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
Yes, that is correct.
Unless he gets clearance, but which doesn't appear to be the case right now. He had to get COVID at the worst possible time. And what was it? Le'Veon Bell, he's dealing with an injury, but he's probably going to play. Sammy Watkins, he's dealing with an injury. He's probably going to play, though. And on the opposite side, Antonio Brown is dealing with an injury. He might be able to play. So you got the injuries on both sides of the field, which is kind of hurting both teams a little bit. But I'm still anticipating everybody's going to play. But I mean, this one's actually kind of pretty close. I mean, you got to give kind of the edge to the Bucks because you got some history here. You got the very first Super Bowl being played in a team's own stadium, so that's a nice advantage there. Mahomes has proven he can play in the Super Bowl pretty well, and Brady has done the same thing. This was super close, but I really wanted to pick the Chiefs, but I just cannot. Unless somehow Eli Manning crashes the Super Bowl, I just cannot pick against Tom Brady. I just cannot pick against Tom Brady. I mean, as much as I want to, I can't do it. But this is gonna sound stupid, but unless Eli Manning crashes the Super Bowl in some form, Chiefs will win. But my actual prediction is the Bucks win 33-24. Mike Evans is the MVP, and please, Eli Manning, crash the Super Bowl.
Oh boy,
Will Medina has the reaction of what the heck are you talking about? But I do want to add one other note. I said on my podcast earlier today that I think Steve Spagnuolo has the pieces to offset Tom Brady. Remember, Steve Spagnuolo was the same defensive coordinator that knocked out the Patriots, the then unbeaten Patriots 13 years ago.
Yeah, I was thinking of that Super Bowl commercial back in the day with Eli Manning, and yeah, Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Eli Manning is not the only quarterback that has beaten Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. Wasn't it
That is true.
Nick Foles?
That is true.
Yeah, Nick Foles.
Yeah, I could say Eli Manning is 3-0 against Tom Brady if you count the Super Bowl commercial. Eli Manning was there in some form.
Yeah.
All right, well, we need Eli or Foles to crash the Super Bowl then. But my prediction for now, 33-24 Bucks. Mike Evans MVP.
All right, Medina, this is your shot to give your final say on this thing.
All right. Well, to go with a quarterback that pretty much has God-given talent in Patrick Mahomes, or the GOAT that is from the Bay Area and has won basically half of the Super Bowls in Belichick's era, but now will have the opportunity to win one on his own in the NFC without Bill Belichick. This is heartbreaking, really, if you ask. But I think this is the I think this is the farewell. Take it home and goodbye. I'm going to take Tampa Bay. Not discounting the fact of Patrick Mahomes with that talent. Got a good tight end in Travis Kelce, speedy receiver, and Tyreek Hill. But again, when you talk about presence, you talk about the night that Brady gets 7 and retires right in front of Drew Brees. This is the last game for Brady. I don't see him coming back to the Bucks next season. It'll be a shock, but I don't see it. I'll take Tampa Bay 33-24, and Tom Brady will get his 1 billionth MVP. I don't know how many he has, and he goes off to the sunset.
Oh, we have the same score. Who knew?
Wait, you had 33-24?
Yeah.
I'm gonna change it, Tim. Let's make it a little bit more fun. Let's make it 38-24. We got to get some field goals in here. We got to include Ryan Suckup. This guy's been perfect in his field goal attempts throughout the season. So I'll change it 38-24 Tampa.
I just have a different MVP, but other than that, we have the same score at that point.
Okay. I guess it's okay to have the same score. I mean, if you want to change it up, I guess it's all right. So, all right, Adam. Who's your pick? You have a score? You have an MVP?
Well, I know it's gonna be a really good match. It's gonna be back and forth, and I've gotta give it to Mr. Free Real Estate. And with the final score, Chiefs 35, Tampa Bay 28, with Patrick Mahomes back-to-back Super Bowl MVP.
All right, Andrew, on you now.
Well, this is it. This is what we've been waiting for all season, isn't it? Here, probably the best quarterbacks we got right now in the NFL. Against each other. I see this being going way down to the end. In fact, I don't see it going I don't see it ending in 4 quarters. I see it going overtime.
Ooh,
30, Tampa Bay with Tom Brady MVP.
So you say
go
30
overtime in the Super Bowl.
That'll be only the second time. If it could happen.
Yes.
30, yeah, 36-30, yeah, overtime.
36-30 and overtime. Wow.
I must be crazy. I am crazy.
You know, it might be that crazy of a game. It could be. When you
Yeah.
got two great talents like Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes facing each other in a game of this magnitude. And I'm just going to say right now, I'm just going to give a slight edge to the Chiefs on this one with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, yes, he is the GOAT, but I'm kind of feeling like, well, Medina, this will be Tom Brady's probably his final game, win, lose, or draw. But hey, Tom Brady, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and when he gets into the Hall of Fame, I'm going to vote him in again. And then the next year, I'm going to vote him in again. And then I'm going to vote him in again. Because that's how great Tom Brady is. I'll vote him in every year. But anyway, I'm giving the edge to the Chiefs 2 years in a row. Chiefs going with my boy, Patrick Mahomes from White House, Texas, which is only about an hour away from where I live in Longview, Texas. Patrick Mahomes, number 15 on your playbook, number 1 in your heart. And I'm going to say he gets MVP again, and it will come down to a field goal. I say 33-30, just like Andrew said, but I don't quite see it going to overtime. He sees it going to overtime. We'll just see what happens. So we got were we split down the middle here? 3 for the.
Yep.
I think we are split.
We are split down the middle. 3 for the Chiefs, 3 for the Bucks. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, my girl says Bucks too.
Oh,
4-3 then.
Yes. So So
Man.
it's 4-3.
Yeah,
If you,
me, Will, and Andrew have Bucks.
yeah, that is it. Now, if our technical director was here, she would say the Chiefs would win, right?
But
I think she said the Bucks.
this is what you just said. The Bucks have odds of plus 1100 to win the 2021 Super Bowl. The odds return from $110 and $10 bets and represent an implied win approximately of 8.33%. The odds can be expressed pressure of 11 to 1. Or a decibel of 12. And that is her. That's her pick. She's not saying the final score is or who she can be MVP, but she picks the Bucks.
She's picking the Bucks. So, all right. So we got 4 for the Bucks and 3 for the Chiefs. We'll just have to see what happens. And as far as the TV commercials are concerned, for the last, I think it's been at least 15 years since I've seen a real good commercial during the Super Bowl. The ones I've been seeing, they just don't impress me. And if I see Flo or any of her progressive crew, or if I see the Gecko from Geico,
What
mean,
sorry. What about those? What about those who are not going to do it this year?
Oh, those are surprising.
No Coke, no Pepsi.
yeah, Budweiser. They've been
no
doing
Bud, no Bud, no Coke, no Pepsi. Wow.
Hey, NFL, I got a suggestion. Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And the halftime show will not be on. Well, yeah, who's performing?
The Weekend.
The Weekend. The Weekend is performing the halftime show, but not on my time. Because remember what it was like 10 years ago when they brought those great bands, those great musical acts to the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah. It's changed so much.
The Stones,
Yeah.
The Who,
Tom Petty
and the Heartbreakers, Bruce Springsteen, and the E Street Band,
Paul McCartney.
Sir Paul McCartney, yes.
Mhm.
And
I
God rest his soul, Prince.
Prince.
Now, wait a minute. I want to do something a little bit extra for this show. Do either of you guys have a favorite halftime show? A favorite Super Bowl halftime show?
Yeah. I think Big Bang was bad. I think the Super Bowl 32 halftime show, the Salute to Motown. That was good.
Okay. It may be somewhere up on YouTube because there's probably a YouTube video for it. Super Bowl 32 halftime show. Salute to Motown. I may remember this one. Anyone else got a favorite?
Yeah, I gotta go with Tom Petty.
Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Tom Petty, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Flynn, you got a favorite?
I think the Bruce Springsteen Super Bowl 43.
Bruce Springsteen. Oh yeah. Adam, you got a favorite?
I don't think I really have a favorite.
Is there one that you probably remember more than anyone else?
Well, and I know the Super Bowl 30 halftime show was good with Diana Ross.
Oh, the Supreme Lady, Diana Ross. I mean, I can't believe that girl's still alive. She's what, 70 something now? She's still alive. But Dana, do you have a favorite?
Yeah. Where the Panthers and Broncos played in my city, that is, and the halftime show was Beyonce and Bruno Mars. That one was really good.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one too. I
Yeah,
like that.
and also remember that it was shortly before dusk, so there was some daylight during the halftime show.
Yeah.
Or how about this one, the one that you two did?
You too. Yes.
Yeah, right. September 11th. You know, YouTube was for the 2002. You know, for that Super Bowl halftime. I don't know which one it was, but definitely up there.
Yeah, that goes up there as one of the best performances in all Super Bowl history. But if I had to pick my favorite halftime show, and I don't know if some of y'all may not be old enough to remember, some of us may be, the halftime show of Super Bowl 27.
Hmm?
Does anybody remember who performed at halftime?
No.
I
Michael
don't.
Jackson.
Oh.
Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Wow.
And not
Yeah.
and it's my favorite Super Bowl. Yes, I'm a homer. It was because the Dallas Cowboys tore the living hell out of the Buffalo Bills that day. Michael Jackson performed at halftime. And do
Yeah.
you remember who sang the national anthem at that game?
Um.
No.
That's been. Yeah, that was like just a kid.
Yeah, it was a long time. The guy who sang the national anthem at Super Bowl 27. You guys ain't going to get it.
Who was it?
No.
Garth Brooks.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, one of the greatest country singers.
And Garth Brooks performed at President Biden's inaugural a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah, and that was at that game where Leon that could have gave the Cowboys 59 total points.
Well, I think it was 52-17 was the final score.
52-17.
They could have been more had it not been for the Leon Let blunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he just tried to do that little high
Do too
step
much.
that
Yeah.
I think he was trying to do that little high stepping thing like Michael Irvin does.
I think a better high stepper was Deion Sanders.
I'm gonna say one more thing about.
I think he tried to do that thing when Michael Irvin does when he like high step, but he just placed it on the ground. He was just gingerly like running it.
He held the ball out to the side, and right before he crossed the plane, Don Beebe came up and swiped it out of his hand.
Yep,
That's
and just getting the Cowboys ball back at the 20-yard line instead of making it 59-17, the most points in Cowboys history.
It would have been the most points scored by a winning team in Super Bowl history too.
Yeah.
But that rule came out when in the Cleveland Kansas City game a couple weeks ago, where a fumble out of the end zone means the other team starts at the 20-yard line. That is one of the dumbest rules in all of sports, and I think that's got to change.
So yeah, I think Leon made not only not one, but he made two blunders.
Yeah, that of course that was the very next season during the Thanksgiving game against Miami.
Yep, and I think it was like a pun, and it was like a pun, and it was
Leon let the Dolphins win.
Yeah.
That was the headline. That was the headline in our local newspaper.
And then that ball was like a live ball. It was like spinning, and no one was. I think it was like a blocked field goal.
It was a blocked field goal.
But that ball was still live. It was because it was like spinning in the snow.
Yeah, I remember that. You know, it was a Leon left.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well,
Wonder where's that up
I don't
to
know about you
now.
guys, but I'm a little bit exhausted from all of this. But this had to be an awesome show. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I want to thank you guys for being here, and once again, yeah, she was with us on pre-show, but Irene Namer, that's her name, and she is my new technical director. She is a creative consultant. She kind of helped bring these changes come along to the presentation of our show. And when we start our new season, you're going to see a few more changes that you may like. So keep your eye out for that. But until then, I think we should go ahead and put a wraps on this show. I'm so excited. Super Bowl 55, Raymond James Stadium, Buccaneers, Chiefs. It is going to be off the chain, probably one of the greatest Super Bowl games of all time. Remember, folks, listen to John Flynn. Look him up, Hooked on Sports, on Apple iTunes, on Spotify, anywhere you can find podcasts. It's been great. Flynn, just listen to Flynn. He's got some great material. I listen to his show every week, and it is awesome. It's superb.
Thank you.
And
Yep.
thanks to our commissioner John Natale, who even right now somewhere in that brain of his is coming up with some new ideas of how we're going to make our league better for next season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he'll let us know. Special thanks once again, Funky Cole Medina, our former two-time champ. Thanks for coming back to the show, buddy. Good to see you.
Welcome as always, Tim. Thank you.
And congratulations to you and your lovely bride.
Right on. Thank you.
All right. Adam Oliver, my buddy, my Texan cowboy fan for life. Thanks for joining me. Andrew, thanks a lot, buddy. All right. Next week, folks, we will be back here next week. I'd say a good time will probably be. Let's see. Let's start 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. What we'll do is we'll recap the Super Bowl, and we'll probably look into the future a little bit. Forecast what the NFL is going to be like in 2021 with players, with coaches, with the state of the business of the league. We'll see what happens here. Who could be contenders? Who could be pretenders? We'll do something like that next week. But I think we're going to put wraps on this. Enjoy the game, everybody. If you're going somewhere to watch the game, remember, if you drive, don't drink. If you drink, don't drive. Because we want to see y'all back here next week. So, for the whole gang here, John Flynn, John Natale, Will Medina, Adam Oliver, Andrew St. Clair, and Miss Irene Namer, my name is Timothy McClellan. We thank you all for joining us. Enjoy the game, everybody. God bless you. And as always, be a good sport. See ya.